Hello, and thank you for joining us. This is Conversations on NTA Network. We have an interesting topic for you today. As you know, Conversations is usually for the women by the women. We have guys here as well. So today we'll be meeting the ladies in the conversations room before we tell you what we're going to talk about today.
Okay, so you want me to introduce myself
Yes,
by
please
myself? Okay, it's more like democracy. Democracy is government of the people, by the people, for the people. So Elizabeth will introduce herself by herself for the people. I just did. My name is Elizabeth, and this is one topic I like. I'm not a politician, don't have any interest, but I think I want to see a woman rule this country.
Okay. Ma'am?
Good morning, Nigerians. It's always good to gather to talk about Nigeria and women and politics. Very interesting. I'm Princess Anne Nwanyibuife Agomeze.
Thank you so much for joining us in the conversations room.
Thank you.
We're talking about women in politics, women in power, and our strengths in numbers. So we're going to take a short feature. We're asking men on the street, about different things and what they think about a woman in power, a woman as president. We'll be right back here in Conversations after this.
Since independence, Nigerians have been led by male presidents. Some people feel that Nigeria would be a better place with female leaders as presidents, considering the good job they do at keeping our homes. While some folks, on the other hand, are adamantly not for it. A lot of times, the blame has been placed on the male chauvinism. Maybe, maybe not. Whatever. Today, we'll hit the streets and find out personally how men feel about female presidents for Nigeria.
You are talking about leadership. And good leadership quality is not exclusive to men. We equally have women with sterling leadership qualities as we have men. It's a matter of searching them out, bringing them to limelight, giving them all the opportunities, at least level playing field with the men.
I think having a female president won't be bad because from my experience with our mothers at home, women tend to do things better. So having a female president, I think it will still be good for Nigeria, having a change.
If female aspirant can be given opportunities to rule Nigeria, I believe she can do something better. If given opportunity and if they can support her, so I think it's not a bad idea.
Nigeria is going through a lot right now that advocating for a female president wouldn't be coming timely as a time as this. For sure, Nigeria needs a unique president right now, but not a female president. Maybe a young president.
I believe so much in an inclusive system, giving everybody a fair chance to play. I think it's high time we have a female president. Let's have a taste of the female. Let's see how they will run. We've had several male presidents haven't ruled this country for some time now. It won't be a bad idea to have a female president to rule the country from 2023. But nevertheless, my belief is the best person take the seat.
A female president for Nigeria is going to be very, very good because the men have tried it and it's like they are failing us. Let the Nigerian voters try and vote for a woman president so that we can see that women, even at home, they do try their best.
A female president for Nigeria is a good idea, but for now, Nigeria, I don't think we are ripe for a female president for now. Because if you look at what is happening around the country now, it's a thing that needs to be handled by a man who is competent and knows how to go about it, who has an experience, not just bringing anybody. For now, I don't think Nigeria is right for female president.
Most times when people talk about female politicians, about male politicians, I think this thing is just based on capacity. It's just based on your capacity to deliver, irrespective of gender. I don't think we should be fighting about gender, talking about female or male president. A human being is a human being.
If you digest it down to the family level, you show that it's not even the fathers that will call the head of the family that are the head. The mothers are the head of the family if you check the context. So if we will be opportune to give a woman chance to rule Nigeria, I think that will be the best thing that will happen to this country. Men who have tried ourselves and we failed. From all ramifications, we have tried the military, we have tried civilians, and we see that Nigeria remains the same. I think it's high time we give women the opportunity to come and showcase what they have.
We've heard the opinion of people on the streets. Let's get back to our guests in the studio and find out what they have to say about this issue.
Very interesting. Lots of he's for she's. I was encouraged to see that a lot of men are very pro Nigerian female president. I wasn't really expecting that, and I'm encouraged.
I was surprised also that a lot of them will actually vote for a woman.
Yeah.
You know, they believe we can.
Now, some of them mentioned fair chance and level playing field. Two of them mentioned that. Someone said if women are given a fair chance and if women are given a level playing field.
Ground.
But do we have that level playing field?
Maybe she will answer you there. But speaking of what I saw, I think most of those people were speaking because they are not sure what their wives will do to them when they get home, or their mothers or their girlfriends, because that same person projecting the women, give him the voter's card to play his role. He will still vote for a man.
For a man.
He will not vote for a woman.
He will not vote for a woman. He will just tell
something they are thinking about, and they believe if they say it on the TV, the women are going to be happy, but they're not going to vote for a woman.
Okay.
Give them the voter's
So it's a nice idea in theory.
It's a nice idea in theory, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the truth is, we women will make better president. Because number one, we're very intuitive. We're very, we think ahead. We are very calculative. We can resolve a lot of, when you have conflicts, we know how to go about it. And I believe for Nigeria of today, if a woman becomes the president, I believe a whole lot of problems will be reduced to a great extent. For instance, when you talk about all these insurgency, the way men resolve issues is not the way we resolve issues. We have our peculiarity. And by the time we talk to people, they see to reason why they should lay down their arms. And when you talk about the economy, we maintain the home. We know what it is. We know how to go about it. And so I still believe a woman being a president is going to do us a lot of good.
I have always championed this anyway. I tell people I may not understand politics the way it's played because it's not my thing. I don't have appetite for it, just like I don't have appetite for football. So, but then I believe that
I'm surprised I don't have appetite for football, really.
You want us to change the topic?
No.
Because I'll tell you why. Because I've tried to chest that little ball, that leather. They go like this, they go. I'm like, what's going on?
You get confused.
I get confused. So, and I've tried and tried. It's not working, so I left it. So, but I figure that if you look at the typical real life of a man, the man graduates from school with the help of parents or self-help, whatever it is, but it's always a struggle. He gets this beautiful job. He gets a home. He gets everything. When you walk into his life, it's still not arranged.
It's very empty.
It's still not tidy. is still, he may have all the things financially.
He will have the house,
yes,
but there will be no home.
There will be no home.
Yeah.
You know, he may have all the financial capability.
Yeah.
That man is possibly maybe in his 30s, or even if there was a scenario, 40s. That house will never be what it is until a woman steps in. Even when that woman is just 18 years old.
Very true.
You know, she comes in, she has this beautiful way of turning things around. So that's to tell you that the saying in the Bible that he who finds a woman,
finds
a wife,
a good thing.
Finds a good thing. So I think Nigeria should also find a woman.
Yeah, but
so we can find a good thing.
When you have a home of that nature, like you've described, most parents will not say, oh, since he got married, he's no longer the same person. He's no longer doing this. He's no longer doing that because the woman is now getting him organized. You know, this has to be this. We need to get a house. You know, we need to pay for children's school fees. Monies can't be thrown away anyhow. And the man starts being a proper human being. And so, you know, without a woman, the man is still as empty as he can
as possible be. Yeah, and that's for me how I translate it to the ruling of any given space.
Yes.
If you want something to move, put a woman on top of it and it moves real good. The same thing, I think because we're very multitask, I don't know,
we multitask really. We get so many things done at the same time, and the men find it difficult to believe that you can be doing this and doing that, and at the same time your brain is, you know, coordinating everything.
Yeah.
So the more women we have in the system, the better our system will be.
So how do we get our women who are watching you, for instance, Princess Anne, who are at home and have this? Lizzie was saying off air that not all fingers are equal. Not every woman is particularly interested in politics. You know, but there are women watching you and like, you know, I've always had this passion, or when I was in university, I used to have this passion for politics. How do we get them out of the house and, you know,
so why did you drop the passion?
Why did you? Yes, let's find out.
Why did they?
Yes, what happened?
You know,
because
society,
we'll start by mentoring you.
You know, society thinks people expect you to be a certain way right after university, do certain things, get married, do X, Y, and Z, have your kids and things like that. And some of us drop some of these dreams along the line. So, you know, they're watching you and they're like, oh, you know, I've always wanted to get back in there. I want to get back in there and do and make and live a life of service. How do we do that?
You know, without even mixing what I see Devon, you know, hanging around. You cannot stand there, Devon. Just come inside.
Just come in.
Just come in. Just come in and sit down. Because Devon has actually been opportuned. There's a seat here for you. You've been opportuned.
So because I came late, you people are going to put me in the obscure chair.
Yes.
That's what
so you have to share your experience, you know, with us, because Devon tried to contest.
Yes.
I did contest. Hi, good morning. Good morning.
It's been a long time.
Yes. You know. Sorry, I didn't even notice.
You didn't know it was
me. Morning.
Thank you.
Yeah. So first of all, sorry I'm late. I encounter traffic. I don't normally encounter. So I left the house when I normally
do. You would have been carrying siren.
And then the road will be free for you.
So good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yes. So
let's share your experience, really. Okay. As a woman that ventured into politics, how was it like for you?
Well, it was interesting. It was exciting. It was an eye opener. It was a learning experience. It was so many things, you know. It was very challenging. And considering that I was a complete fresher, I think I did quite well, because I did emerge, but you know, owing to intra-party politics, I was told to step down for the incumbent, because there was somebody there and he wanted to go back. So when I emerged at party level, the party leaders were not completely comfortable with that. I was a newcomer, which was true. They also seemed to take issue with the fact that I was female, and I am female, and you might say, why would that be a big deal?
That's what I wanted to ask you. Why will being a female be an issue?
Exactly.
Why will it be a hindrance?
So at that point, the thing was, they had given the Senate ticket for the first time, you know, in that our access to a female.
Okay.
And here I was, House of Reps.
Okay.
2 females, they felt, okay, maybe we're pushing the bar too much. Let's play safe and go with a male for... Anyway, at general elections, we lost. Anyway, so
because
it
if you
didn't seem
had
to
gone,
make
maybe
much
they
of a
would have
difference.
won.
Who knows? Maybe I would have won. Beginner's luck.
Yeah.
You never can tell. So
how much support did you have from other women in your community?
Okay, that's a very good question. I was new. I was naive. To be honest, I was quite naive. The thing is, women will not just sit down and support you. You have to go and court their support. You have to go and look for it. You have to go out of your way and lobby, like everybody else does, you know.
But did they really support you at the end of the day?
They gave me as much support as they could.
Okay.
You understand? What I'm saying is, I had...
Well, what it means is, because during the electionary period or during the election, day, you find out that some women find it really difficult to vote for you in the first place because the man has so much money to give out. And maybe because you're not giving as much, and they're just seeing what they can get at the moment. And so they still feel, what can she do when she gets in there? We still believe the men can do better. Maybe they'll be able to stand firm, So even when they like you as a human being, the men still control their thoughts, So at the end of the day, you see them even going against their will. Being a woman, yes, they're happy. But when it gets to actualizing their dream, they find it difficult.
Wow.
If I may come in here, I like to own my stuff.
Okay.
I did not do enough to carry women along.
Okay.
And it was not intentional. It wasn't a slight. It was simply because I came in with the erroneous impression that the men, control. And then the structure I had around me, being a new person in politics, naturally I had to work with people who were already there.
Yes.
And they all just went with men. In fact, at some point, on the campaign trail, I'd need something that I needed a woman for. Like, oh, my zipper is sliding down. Who can? And I would have to go look for, I'd have to go look for my father-in-law to, help me.
Serious?
And that was when I started realizing, wait,
I needed more women.
I need women in this picture.
Yeah.
What's up? How did I end up with so many men? And it was pretty late at the time. I think if I had courted them early enough, I think they would have given me their support.
More.
It was not from a place of malice. It was ignorance on my part. So I want to own my part in that.
Okay.
I don't think women abandoned me, because I don't have money. No, I didn't do enough to bring women into my team, which is something that that's definitely something I would correct if I were to do it all over again. Certainly.
I'm curious. I just heard your own people. I'm wondering, Princess Wine Bife.
Yes.
I like that name. A woman means something.
That's what it means?
And yes, and it's good. That's what we're discussing today. Wine Bife. So you're also an aspirant.
Yes.
At the moment, are you doing what she didn't do right? What's your experience like for you?
Yeah, we need to learn from other people's experiences. But I do know when I was running, because I wasn't as naive as she has explained, because my husband actually had run for the governorship, aspired for the governorship of my state, and also tried the Senate. And as a matter of fact, I was really at at that point helping out. So it gave me a lot of experiences, what to do, what not to do, and what he didn't do right. Yeah, I tried to carry the women along. But there was this particular experience I had that didn't make me happy at all. On the day of the primaries, there was this group of women. You can't carry everybody along because running for the senatorial seats, like in my state, we have 5 local governments. And there actually is like, for every local government, you might have a certain number of women whom you're working with. Not everyone. So I saw this group of women gathered. Is like they had put themselves together, and I came to them. I tried to talk to them, letting them know why they need to vote for me, and voting for me means a door opener for the girl child, and the men will start realizing that women are actually interested. And once that happens, their daughters, their daughter-in-laws, everybody will start coming in, because like there's this apathy about, oh, politics, I don't want to join. So after preaching to them, one lady just got up and asked me, so how much? She did like this, how much do you offer? So I said to her, so in all that I have told you, you just narrowed it down to cash. If I give you that money today, don't you think if I get in there and there is scholarship, your daughter, if you support me, might be part of it? You might get employment, because a woman will not go to sell any employment that arises from, the democratic process. And there are lots of contracts, Don't you think you will benefit from it? She said, she's asking me, how much have I got to offer? So I just said to her, may God help you. I still gave, but maybe apparently it wasn't as much as she wanted. Yeah. So, yes, I got a lot of votes, but not as much as to have made me become the candidate. Yeah. So that was my experience, and I didn't like that at all. Going in this second time, I'm still going to talk to them, try to maybe be softer on them, because maybe I just believe because I'm a woman, they were just going to support me in that manner. Yes, the money may not be there to give them, because certainly I don't have as much to give them. But I will start early to talk to them, to spread out more than what I did initially. This time around is delegate election. And, for every 3 there is a 2 in my party, APC. And so we just try to convince the men and make sure the women, because with the advocacy we are doing, I think a whole lot of things will change.
Yeah. I'm glad you spoke about advocacy, because there are people out there who want to be mentored. I mean, they might not be able to reach out to you directly, but they want to just, go back into the field, go back into politics, and they're just finding it really difficult. So how do you reach out to such people? How do you spread awareness? Because you're one person, but we still need a lot more women in positions of power. We need more. If you look at the numbers,
actually need more, because
we're not even there.
In my senatorial zone, I'm the only woman, contesting for the National Assembly, and it hasn't been, Anyway, it's a story for another day, but I'm the only woman, and I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best to let them know this is the time. I am the woman of today. And the need for us to come in, because when that happens, we'll be able to, assuming I'm able to win and elected into the Senate, I will be able to get younger women to go into House of Assembly by buying them form and supporting them financially. So those things they're afraid of, one will try to reduce it, because when you buy them the form, support them, and you're already there, I believe the women, will have more women folk coming in into politics. I think that's the only way.
I sincerely think we should be able to change the narrative, even though I think it's actually a wrong narrative, but it's spreading like a wildfire. We should be able to change it where they think, women who go into politics are like prostitutes. They've gone to sell themselves to get vote. Exactly. How many people did you sleep with? Just for
unfortunate though.
Did you sleep with anybody to get?
Well, I did sleep with Mr. Romy Mom, who also turned out to be my biggest sponsor. So I think something good came out of that.
By the way, Mr. Romy Mom is the husband.
Yes. So, well, I think that's as far as sleeping with, that's as far as that went. But on a more serious note, you see, that was actually something that my opponent tried to use against me. Really? They sent, yes, because from, this zoning thing. So it was zoned to our access, and we're essentially, brothers now from the same community. So the people from that team came to my husband and they were like, oh, your wife is young and she's quite attractive. You don't really need to let her do this. Before you know it, somebody will probably take her away from you. And
No
then
way.
they gave him instances of marriages that got broken up because the woman ventured into politics and all of this. And luckily, my husband was broad-minded enough to consider the fact that, okay, first of all, these guys are from the opposing camp. There's no way they're coming to tell me anything that will... Good. Yeah, so that I think that played in. And then second of all, I think my husband was able to contextualize, like, if I'm giving my wife all this support and she decides that that's what she wants to do, then at the end of the day, she is the one playing a very big losing game. You don't do that. I had all the support I needed from my husband. Why would I now go into the party and start messing around?
If I may come in, you don't need to be in politics. If a woman wants to mess around,
she will mess around.
She will. So you don't have to be in politics to do that. There are lots of women out there who are not politicians, and they still do things in that manner.
Exactly.
So you don't have to be a politician. Most politicians of today are standing on their feet. If you really know what you're doing, what you want, what you're looking for, and they know you have the intellectual capability to stand firm, no man will even ask you to raise your skirt. No. Because they know you're not going to, they won't be sure of what they will expect.
Exactly.
So this issue of, in bracket, women going into politics because they are going to sell themselves is not true. Like she said, my husband, Prince Sam Agomeze, supports me like no man business. It's surprising. I mean, like when we got married, they said you must trust your husband like a child, trust your wife like a child. Till today, my husband cannot open my bag without asking me, please, can you give me something from that bag?
Maybe he's scared of the razor blade that will be inside.
That is it. So maybe.
Or the knife.
So that is the level of trust. And he has carried on those trusts till today. I'm always out there trying to do one or two things, that will be beneficiary to our community, to the family and all that. So the men who reason in that manner, what do we call them? What are we going to call them?
We just call them men.
We'll just call them men. This is Conversations here on NTA Network. We're talking about women in politics and our numbers. We'll be right back after this.
As the 2023 elections draw near, remember, evil prospers when good men and women only wish for peace, but never take a step to make peaceful elections happen. Are you a father? Are you a mother? What are you saying to your children as elections approach? Have you warned them not to let themselves be used to cause violence? Have you explained to them what the consequences of electoral violence might be? Do your part to make peaceful elections happen. Talk to your children. Protect them from unscrupulous politicians who want to put them in harm's way, while their own children are comfortable at home, within and outside the country. Let's join hands to make 2023 elections peaceful. This message is from the National Orientation Agency, NOAA.
We want to talk about rights, there are obligations. I'm not saying that this government is a saint, very far from it. But there are things that we can do to make it better, and that's the challenge I'm throwing to you. You don't want to build this nation? I don't know where else you want to go. If I had a choice, I'll come back. When I stand outside and I hear what you have to say about this country that I know that I can die for as one, then I'm really sad because you're young. You have education. You have tools. You have a huge future ahead of you. And you're condemning yourself before you started on that journey. So please don't do that. Please don't.
Women in politics, that's what we're talking about today. in the conversations room. We have one more woman, and I'll leave her to introduce herself.
My name is Dr. Mariam Jumai Bello Yasin, the national woman leader, national and Nigerian New Nigerian People's Party, NNPP.
Power to my women.
Yes, the alternative party in Nigeria.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're here. I don't know if you've been following the conversation so far.
I haven't been because I've been in
You've
the
been
vehicle.
on the road. So we're talking about women in politics, how we can be more involved, and we would like to hear your take on it.
Yeah,
and it's good she's a national woman leader.
Yeah. We as women, we are the special species in this process. And if we know our value, because we are the people that vote more than the men. When you go to any voting pool, you will see the women lining up more than the men.
That's
And
true.
even our women at the grassroots, they take this assignment very, very seriously. They don't play with it. They can abandon their business and whatever.
Even under
But
the
then
rain.
when it comes to decision making, when it comes to appointment, when it comes to opportunity for them to act and put in their best, they are kept behind and they are relegated to the back door. I don't know what informs this, but with the new dispensation in which we are going now, I think we have understood ourselves very well. There are some barriers that have kept us apart, that makes us not to cooperate with ourselves. And the moment you see a woman, she says she's not married, she's a lot, or she does this because she's in politics. But I realize that...
As if you heard what we were talking about before you came
No,
in.
but I realize that it is the players in politics that are corrupt, that are worst. The politics itself is to serve. Extend your hand of fellowship to your fellow human beings. Help them in the infrastructure, in employment, in getting light and many other amenities that is meant to be enjoyed by citizens of any country. But we women are not given the opportunity and the chance to do it because we have our own peculiar way of attacking each other. One, and the men capitalize on it. They make sure they divide us, divide and rule, cajole you close. Sometimes when women go into politics, you will see they have their own intention of what they want to go and achieve. But when they get there, they might show them contrary. They say, women like money. Let's change them. Let's do this. By the time you want to buy your ticket, they might say, hey, some men had already come. I'm facing such issues, and I told them, we are not going to accommodate that there. And I'm sure the convener and the National Women Committee, the National Working Committee are really trying assiduously to make sure that it doesn't anywhere. I announce that even in a committee, if we have 3 committees, a woman must be one of the committee, which is what is playing on now.
Why can't we get in a committee of 3 people, 2 women and 1 man?
We could, but we're just starting. Let us not over bombard them. Okay. And then at the end of the day, we were set aside. So let's show them that we are the quiet type. We don't make noise, but we want action. And we have to sit together and then agree on what we want to do. Let's follow them amicably with campaign, lobbying. I know we will get there. We are already getting there this year because the number of women that came out for election, that bought their ticket in my party, I wouldn't have known in other parties as much as I do. There are so many. Even the youths, we encourage them. Yes. Even I was at a function on Monday by this RII. We saw the young ladies that have come out for politics. They were presidential candidates. I don't know if you saw us on the air. Young girls, the youth, YYP and PRP, they are presenting young girls and they are backing them up. And we told them at that function that, look, it's not about buying this ticket free. How free is it? We don't want a woman not to have a stake. You must be a stakeholder. If they give you so free, make sure that you don't have mouth. They can talk to you, we are favoring you. I don't want anybody to favor me. Let me act, let me do my right, let me be involved, let me be part and parcel of the processes and then actualize my dream. So this is what we're saying. Women are coming out And I'm sure this year we have sensitized ourselves, we have seen the barrier, we've seen the opportunities that we can tap, and we are working towards actualizing these opportunities.
You were going to answer.
Yes, I wanted to, because when she said there must be a woman, I just wanted to say that my party, APC, has really gone far beyond that. Because as it is today, the party has decided if there's any committee of anything, like if you have 5 people, 2 must be a woman. And that the women must ensure they fight for it. So once a list is submitted and you don't have 2 women to go with the 3 men,
you reject it.
They will reject it.
Yeah, we reject it outrightly.
Like now,
so the delegate they are choosing now,
yes.
it will be maybe out of 10?
Out of 5.
No, the delegate out of 5, for instance,
there will
so
be 2.
must
So
be
women
a woman.
must be a woman. So that's what it is. And like she said, a whole lot of women have actually come out this time around.
Yeah.
In APC, it's like more than 1,000 women, but form.
1,000?
Yes. So we see how it plays out at the end of the day. But what is very, very important is the women are coming out there.
Yeah.
They are seeing the need to participate. As she also mentioned, we're going to change the narratives. All those barriers, that have been keeping us behind. We are trying to make sure that the women start loving each other more.
Yeah.
And I think we're actually doing that, because before, a woman will not tell you how beautiful you are, or try to say, oh, I like the way you look. Maybe tomorrow I want to be like you, Liz. So things are really changing. Women are coming out, and we pray that the men who are more dominant in politics will see the need to give us opportunity. No matter how painful it might be for them, they should get, they should allow us to be part and parcel of it and be with them on the table.
Okay, so to our viewers who are watching, if you happen to be watching Conversations right now, would love to hear from you. Feedback, comments, questions for our guests. Please go ahead and send in those messages. Now, David, I would like to know how supportive your husband was at the very beginning. How did you table it to him that this is what you want to do? Did you come with a big plate of pounded yamas?
Nails down.
Nails down and said, my husband.
That's an interesting, that's a good question. His people were bugging him to run. Phone calls, and he was like, these guys don't really know me. It's not happening. I'm not going to do this. Because it was zoned to, this zoning thing. It was zoned to their community, and nobody had emerged from that community in a while to run for any elective office, So, and the more they bugged him and the more he resisted, the more a small thought started going on in my mind. Why don't I tell this man that I'll be able to do it? After all, and the thing kept going on in my mind. So one day after one of those phone calls when he dropped and he was like, these people should stop disturbing me, I was like, I think I can do this. I don't even know where the words came from. God knows it wasn't me talking, because my rational mind had already rejected it and said, he will not even listen to you. He'll use a broom and sweep you out of the room and all of this. But, I was just like, sweetheart, if you don't mind, I'm your wife. If you don't want to do it, I can help you, and everything.
That's a very smart way.
Yeah.
Very smart way.
So he gave it a little thought. I really thought he was going to be like, I beg. But he didn't, He gave it a little thought and he was like, okay, wait. Then he called somebody influential in politics back home that was close to him, and was like, listen, my wife is expressing interest in this thing. What do you think? And the person was like, oh, that's beautiful. Great. It's lovely. People are welcoming women into politics now, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. As long as you're sure that... And that was how, so it was actually meant to be him. But he didn't mind me, stepping forward. Oh, wow. And he gave me all the support I needed. And not just financially, I can't call, I don't drive at night because my sight is not really the best. I can't count the number of times when the drivers had already closed and he needed to be somewhere at 10 p.m. He's just back from work and he's exhausted, and he hops into the car and we drive there, have that meeting. He became my nighttime driver, kind of thing. So he was really committed.
Committed.
Yes, he would take time off work, follow me to the village. My first rounds of visits to the village, he would follow me.
That's it.
talk to the people
sell you out
first.
to
And that
the
would have
people.
increased your acceptability.
It did,
Yes,
because
it did. Sold you
realizing
out
your
to
husband
them.
was
Exactly.
actually there with you.
It matters, So you would follow, he was like my MC, kind of like, at these meetings, he would introduce me, okay, this is my wife, and then I'll get up and say my thing and all of this. So in the early days, he really followed me around, and when he wasn't doing that, it was my father-in-law. So I got,
Oh, that's still your husband.
that's
awesome.
I
They
got
really appreciate
plenty.
you.
I got plenty of support, and my mother-in-law too. Because they are based back home, so she was like handling the home front. People would
The
just wake up
grassroots.
and come and sit in our house, and
That
it would
was
be on
really
her head to
beautiful.
cook
Wow.
for. So I had
That was
all the
beautiful.
support I needed,
Yeah,
both
that's what
morally, financially, and everything from my
Spiritually,
husband and
man,
his
they have
own side of
supported
the
you.
family.
Thank you, Funke from Abuja, for sending in this message. It says, I appreciate you all talking about this topic. I honestly think those women going for presidential positions should try lower level positions
Exactly.
first.
That was what
I
went
like
through my
local
mind.
government positions before heading to presidency
Exactly.
positions. When we've seen what you can do in lower level positions and gain popularity, then we can support them in higher positions like presidency. Thank
Exactly.
you, Funke.
Oh, that's great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
So
did.
You
then
don't just
why
wake
do we
up and
always
start
run away
contesting
from
for
the
president.
grassroots? Because I think, just like the family is the first unit
Yeah.
of every society. At the end of the day, if the family is not doing well, it reflects in the larger society.
Yeah.
Which is why I still believe that the local government,
Should be the first
governance
point of-
should be the
yeah.
primary thing. That's where we should find professors, to come in and put in their best. That's what. But instead, the local government elections are even appointed. It's by appointment. Most
Exactly.
states.
That's
And
the
then they
reason why
appoint
It's always
scouts.
by
Selection
whichever party
appointments.
that is the system.
what
that
I
That's why I
selects
say
who
it's
goes.
appointment.
What
And so
I
what
s-
do you do as a woman if you're not selected?
The women, I remember about riots. The women can do something. We can say no to bad governance.
Yes, we
If
can
we
say
all
no.
put one mouth together, we say no, Governor, Uncle Governor, you cannot give us this person. We don't want it. Yes, it's doable.
It's doable.
And the law backs us up.
It's doable.
One thing I want to say is that the local government, like you said earlier, is the best method for us to have started so that we can build a background and it looks solid. But then there is a clause. The governors have hijacked the local government.
Absolutely.
And if you are working in the local government, that is why they want it as a selection, not appointment rather,
That's
not
true.
election.
Even when they call it
Whatever
selection.
votes has been allocated to that local government, the governor pockets it and he collects it. It is at his own discretion that he will give you whatever he wants. And you might not be able to perform. Because if you are not given funds to perform, you list all your requirements, your wants, and what the people want. You've spoken to them, you've gone around, you've asked them, what would you want me to do here? Is it borehole? Is it school? Is it hospital? And whatever. And after you've done that, and you collated all their requirements, you meet the governor, he's telling you there is no money. And you knew quite right what was allocated to that local government. People will think you connived with him and you were eating the money.
In fact, that's
So
the
this is
fastest
the
way to
problem.
get yourself a bad name in politics.
Yes.
Going
Local
to the
government
local
can
Local
government.
government
That is
councillor,
why the
local government chairman, you are rendered
Yes.
completely redundant. You are a rubber
Useless.
stamp. You are useless.
And your name is damaged because nobody knows the nitty-gritty of what is happening. And you wouldn't want to talk back about your governor. You might just be saying, we will soon commence construction. We are doing this. It has been marked and mapped out.
So you're saying we should aim high.
Yes.
We should aim high.
Yes, when they have formed their own locomotive foundation, we might build on it and probably get ourselves. Sometimes from there we will educate ourselves and know how we will position our people to take over that place. Let us start gradually.
What I would suggest is it's good to have some knowledge of how these things work properly.
Yeah.
Like I said, for me, local government councillor, local government chairman, except you want to earn yourself a bad name in politics, that's not where you want to go. Or except you're lucky enough to have the kind of governor who actually wants to develop the place at local government level. If you have the type who is authoritarian and a bit dictatorial in his ways, don't go there. However, you can't seek elective positions within the party hierarchy. Usually what you find within the party structure itself is that woman leader, treasurer. That's where you find women.
Yes. Because they know we can keep their money.
You know, exactly.
Yes.
But if more women were to contest for things like party secretary or even party chairman and so on and so forth, you can get all of that knowledge, experience, get to know the owners of the party well and so on and so forth. And then you can now run for offices like House of Reps, Senate, Governor and things like that, because you already understand how this thing works.
Yes,
you are already, you know, close to the party structure. You are close to the owners of the party. Every party has an owner.
Yeah.
I heard you say that the first time. I thought maybe I was mistaken.
Every party is owned. Yes, forget the chairman. There are the owners of the party.
The chairman is just
and you have to be in the good graces of the owners of the party as well.
Program.
Yes.
She's correct, but you know, let me go back to my party again because of, you know, a whole lot have been said about the women, and she knows we're all in the same group, and we'll be talking about women going into party politics, because that is the quickest way we can actually rise. And so what we've been clamoring is, I mean, if certain positions in the party, even if we're not chairman, we should be the deputy chairman.
Exactly.
You know, we can be organizing secretary.
Yeah,
we can
which
be
is very
treasurer.
vital. Yeah.
We can be, what are the other, you know.
There's so many.
So what they have done now, for the first time, a woman is the deputy national treasurer in APC. For the first time too, you know, we have always had woman leader. Now we have national deputy woman leader,
Yeah, I met
who
her
is
at the
also
function.
part of national working committee.
Yeah. Okay.
And the two women we have now, oh my God, they are firebrand. So I believe by the next election, more women will actually come into the party politics. So the more we get engaged, the more experience we'll have, the more we have women talking for us, not just that situation where it's only the woman leader, so whatever she has to say, they will, you know, either shout her down, and then things remain the way they are. But things are good. Things are improving.
What you're saying, I keep hearing something, party politics, getting into it. And I know there are a lot of young people from 18 and above who would want to be part of what is happening in the country. I'd like to know, you are national woman leader.
Yeah.
I'm your deputy. That's for this place. So how do we plan to bring in more young people into the, you know, political parties, not just your own?
Like
what are the strategies?
What I did in my political party, NNPP, when we started. Recently, we had a conference and induction. Most of the women that were elected in other states were brought into Abuja, and the zonal women leaders too came in. We had lectures. We sensitized them on mobilization, networking, campaign, and lobbying. And we encourage all of them that they should, in their own local, in their own states and zones, make sure that women come en masse to pick the tickets. Those who came and bought the ticket, we engaged them among the people we invited. They spoke to us on what are their challenges and how they come about this stage. And the opportunities we will tap from them and then work on to bring more ladies around. And we told them that whenever a woman or a man or a lady or a girl comes in to say they want to buy, they buy ticket and they want to express their expression in interest to for the political office, can you just put them in front of you to tell us what they have really done? How far have they gone with their local government, their states, and their environs? Did they touch the lives of people? Do they have evidences of what they have done with them? If we brought a projector, if you have any film or any picture or anything, show it to us to see how viable you are. Because we cannot present you and you fail us. If you have not been doing that, you still have ample time. Please go around your people. Help them. Yes. Let be a model before them. Let them see you doing it and encourage other women. Nobody should reject any woman buying form. If you have such issue, please let us know. We take it up. And for me to inform you, wallahi, I'm not saying it because I'm on air. We have women secretaries. I'm telling you right now, in most of the election that took place, in Kwara, we have 5 women that are in the state executive. I told them I don't want 1 or 2. From 3 above, I want to see them on all the state executive. And if you want me to bring the record, I will bring it for you. And as I'm sitting here, I have my phone of young ones that have bought forms from us, female and male, from 18, some people 19, 2000, they were born 2000. Wallahi, we have them here. Wow. And I came with it in case you want it. So we encourage women, girls, young ones, we want them to come out because they are jobless, they've been suffering, they've been walking about, taking drugs and involving themselves in social vices. So we can't continue to have them like that. We want to encourage them to come in and contribute their own quota to the system and the process.
Abdul Shakur from Niger State, it's good that we're talking about the need to give women opportunities in the political ecosystem, but are women really ready? Because women have a numerical advantage. Are we ready?
Yes, we're ready.
That is like
there is
already like how many years?
Do you know the meeting we had yesterday?
We are ready.
The meeting we had on Monday. There was this your party was also part of it. Yes. All of us were 18 political parties. Do you know that the women leaders have formed a WhatsApp on how we will collaborate together to make sure that we support our females?
Okay.
And in my party, the woman leader have actually put there's this kind of loan scheme to help these young ones if they march, so that they will be able to win.
That's nice.
Even when Stella was there, she was able, our former woman leader, she was able to bring in a lot of these youths, pushing them, mentoring them on the need for them to get involved. So when you come to APC, there's a whole lot of young women. I saw one, I don't even know how old she is. She said she wants to run for the Senate. So each time we see her, we call her most distinguished.
Oh, wow.
No.
So a lot is happening.
Sorry, if I may chip in, there's this idea I have for catching them young. I'm wondering what's the possibility of establishing clubs in secondary schools and university. Like when I was in secondary school, the Young Farmers Club, Sacred Heart Association,
young
and all these kinds
clubs.
of things. Why don't we bring this to the secondary school level, so that from Form 1 all the way to SS3, even for for all those class positions, class prefect and everything, let them lobby.
Let them lobby for
let them
it.
vote.
Get involved.
Let them campaign.
What you're saying is that we should go down to the grassroots from secondary school and start mentoring.
So when you get these young people, especially young girls,
even
interested, and they begin to understand the processes, there'll be primaries. There'll be different parties. The intellectual party of social class, the academic party, blah, blah, blah.
That's a very good idea.
And I like the fact that there's even funds available, just as you mentioned.
Exactly.
And
by the time this person is leaving secondary school at 16 or 17, when they go to university, they'll be more interested in SUG, State Union Government.
Right.
And from there, they will begin to, they will pick up a party membership and so on and so forth.
All right. Thank you so much for all the women in the house telling us about the things available to us, or like money and support from other women, our husbands, just to break into the political terrain. Honestly, it's been an amazing. We need to do this again. To the producers are listening, we need to have a part 2 of this. It's been Conversations here on NTA Network. Thank you to everyone for all your points of view. See you again next time, and goodbye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.